Good afternoon and welcome to this webinar about Integration Platform as a Service. My name is Ruben, CEO of Yenlo and one of the presenters today. And with me, I brought Dominic, head of our Connect platform and operational support team. Dominic, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Ruben. Indeed, my name is Dominic Mulder, and within Yenlo, responsible for everything that's Connect related and all our managed services. And tonight, I hope to give you a brief overview of our platform and the services we provide.
So thank you. And again, welcome everybody. Why do we have this webinar about Platform as a Service? And the answer is quite simple. We believe that Platform as a Service is the holy grail for 2022 and the years in front of us. And in the coming 20-25 minutes, I will explain from more a business perspective why we have this opinion. And in the 30 minutes afterwards, Dominic will deep dive into the Connect platform itself. And that is our own integration platform as a service based on W2 middleware. Besides W2, we also support other middleware technology like Boomi, Azure, and MuleSoft. So for those of you who don't know Yenlo, I will briefly give you a 2-minute elevator pitch and not more than that. And right after, we will dive into the real topic of today. So first of all, myself, I started 25 years ago in the IT industry in service-oriented architecture and later on in event-driven technology, previously with Oracle technology. And around 15 years ago, we started Yenlo to be the #1 provider in API integration and identity and access management with open source technology, what later means WSO2. So 15 years later, where do we stand? As Yenlo, as a group, we have offices around the globe from Colombo, Europe, to all the way to North America. 15 years in operation, hundreds and hundreds of integration projects fulfilled, a turnover of more than $30 million and many customers, projects and integrations executed and running on our own platform as a service. And we thought, let's broadcast this news why we think iPaaS is the holy grail and what's important when you are selecting a platform as a service and which benefits it brings to you as an organization. So this event is based on our experience in 15 years in the area of solution architecture, but also software development, mainly API and integration. We sell software and licenses. We have training and certification programs. We do actually, Dominic in his team, 24/7 operational support services. And last but not least, we have our managed hosting environment in the cloud based on W2 technology as mentioned. So that's just a short overview about Yenlo and the experience we have. We have hundreds of customers, and around 6 years ago, we thought, let's create and let's build the most awesome platform as a service, which fits everybody's needs. But to understand that from a more perspective, I think it's important to understand with each other which challenges are we facing anno 2022. And that's, of course, a very generic and a very broad topic. So I try to pinpoint it through 3 topics. So when I speak to all our customers, I notice one thing, and me personally think this will be a huge challenge in this year, but also the years afterwards. The technology is going very fast, it's very complex, and we see around us that there is a huge shortage of skilled employees, a shortage of skilled engineers. So for more the technical people among us, when you talk about containerization or cloud technology or Kafka or middleware in general, you notice that it is such complex to set it up, to maintain, to develop integration, but also have it 24/7 in operation. And it's getting more and more and more, also with low-code solutions like Boomi or Choreo from WSO2. And this shortage of personnel is something you have to deal with as an enterprise. So it's nice to be on a digital journey, or it's nice to innovate, but somehow you have to address it, how to maintain. Secondly, talking to our customers, all of them are working in their own digital project, their own digital transformation. And we believe that such a digital journey or such digital transformation is the way forward to become a more agile and a more profitable organization. The question is, how are you going to be successful in a digital transformation without the skilled employees and without the technology at your fingertips? And the third really important challenge, which I believe in logistics, in healthcare, but also in government and retail, which is going on, is controlling your operational expense and your investments, or so to speak, your CAPEX and OPEX. It's all about having a digital transformation, but in the same time, reduce your operational costs. And the reason why is because it is a very, very competitive market. We are in a global world whereby we trade with each other 9,000 kilometers away. So you should be competitive by having operational excellence target. So when you mix these three challenges all together, the question is, how are you going to achieve your digital transformation? Well, you still have shortage of employees, and well, you still have to watch your CAPEX and OPEX. And we believe that the only way forward is to apply smart technology. To give you an example, it is said by Gartner and Forrester that in the year 2023, 2 out of 5 job positions cannot be fulfilled in, for instance, the healthcare. In other sectors, it's 1 out of 6. So that means if you are a hospital, or you are a government body, or a utility company, if you cannot find the right personnel, the only way to move forward is to implement better and smarter technology. Next to that, it's a competitive market, so we believe that time to market is mission critical. You should not be on your digital journey like 3, 4, 5 months out from now. It should be at your fingertips right now, tomorrow. So time to market is, in our opinion, critical to be successful in your digital journey and your digital projects. Another reason for the time to market is for the simple fact that the technology is going extremely fast. 3 years ago, we were not talking about Kafka and containers and not so much at cloud technology. Now these days, it's cloud first, it's API first, it's stream processing first. So to deal with that and to have a fast time to market, we believe that a platform as a service is the holy grail. And let me explain. You cannot beat anymore from a cost perspective local data centers, for the simple fact that companies like Amazon, like Google, like Microsoft Azure are way cheaper and they are way faster, whilst they have a huge bunch of very skilled employees. So their costs of operations are low in public cloud providers like such. Secondly, if you buy a product as a service, it means you don't have to maintain. Like upgrades and patches are done for you. Like recently with the security incident with Log4j, it's being handled for you and you don't need expensive engineers on your payroll. And last but not least, with an integration platform as a service at your fingertips, the time to market is less than 1 day. So why spend a lot of time and effort on doing it yourself, while it is available, ready for you, up and running in the cloud? And having that said, and after 15 years of experience and discussing with all our customers, we thought, how can we assist you and how can we assist our customers to select the right platform as a service? For the simple fact there are many, many out there. Of course, you can choose something from Microsoft, or maybe some elements from Amazon, or some elements from Boomi or whatsoever. The question is, what do you exactly need, and which platform as a service fits your needs? And trying to put something extremely difficult in a one slide is complex, but I did my best, and I think I'm successful in that. So I think that these 4 topics are the key topics when you are selecting an integration platform as a service. And let's go by them one by one, and give me the privilege to explain. So first of all, we believe that a platform as a service cannot be or should not be a shared environment between tenants. Because a large enterprise like yours, or maybe of your customers, they need privacy, they need security, they need to make sure that there is no data breach, or that compute power is interfered with somebody else. So we believe a private platform as a service is mandatory. But it is not only about being private in your private space, it's all about it should be customizable. Because although we are from the outside maybe similar with each other as an enterprise, in reality is that each enterprise has their own needs and their own customizations. A customization in workflow, and customization how you treat users, how you want to onboard customers, or something simple like styling, logos, and such tailor-made look and feel. So we believe the key topic number 1 for selecting an iPaaS, it should be customizable with a strong focus on private, nothing shared. The second thing, what we believe should be on your wish list when selecting an iPaaS, it must be complete. There are many companies and many vendors who offer you an API manager, or they offer you a enterprise service bus, or a microservices solution. And maybe one of them is offering a queuing mechanism. I believe that an enterprise customer needs all of it. Maybe it starts small, but in the end, when you talk about platform as a service or integration platform as a service, it's about the combination, and it's about pick and choose. You should be able to choose which products and in which type and in which environment those topics are being deployed. So it could be a combination of an API manager solution with an ESB along with serverless computing, or API manager and Kafka, or ActiveMQ. So we believe that the second criteria to select the right integration platform as a service is all about pick and choose a best of breed approach when it comes down to software components. And while selecting those components, the secret sauce, of course, is how are those components integrated with each other? Because what you don't want, spend a lot of time in configuration and in optimizing those components in the best optimal way to operate. So complete and best of breed also means that the governance under the hood to maintain those components are critical. So that is the third selection criteria, the governance. And the governance is not only about how the components work together, that should be out of the box a no-brainer. It's also about the non-functional requirements. So is your platform as a service hardened? Is it protected against security risk? Is there audit trailing, monitoring, CI/CD? Is it all integrated in your total solution? But forget a little bit about the technology. Governance also means, can you call somebody? When it goes down or when there is an incident, who are you going to call? So it's very nice to have a subscription at Amazon or Azure, and you have one piece of the puzzle, one component. But in the end, you need a phone number or a ticket or a service desk, which you can rely on 24/7. and not only with technology skills, but also knowing you as a customer and knowing your business processes. So we believe the third item to select the right integration platform as a service is all about how is the governance addressed. And last but not least, of course, you can find something for millions of money, like subscriptions per year, but it should be affordable, because when it is not affordable, you still have maybe best of breed and you still may have it customizable, but then you are having a lock-in because of a lot of money. So you shouldn't have surprises afterwards. Affordability means to me that upfront you need to know which cost you are facing when implementing such integration platform as a service. So when you combine all of these elements together, we believe that those four topics are critical to choose the right integration platform as a service. But I have good news for you. We did it already for you. And we did it based on the hundreds of projects we did with our customers. And what we discovered after many, many years, that actually all our customers, and probably it's not different with your company, basically we all have the same needs. We all want to have a platform that is high available. I don't know any customer in this world who says, I don't need high availability. Just give me a runtime during office hours. Because we are in a global world, most of the end customers are working with your company 24/7. And by that, you are a 24/7 company per default. So that means also your support should be there 24/7 when something breaks, on technical level as well as on functional level. Speaking to our customers, they all agree on the fact that they require scalability. And when we talk to bank or insurance company or utility companies, you see a high peak sometimes in the month or per quarter, and you need a platform that scales automatically with you, but also scales down when the peak load went down. I never met a company who said security is not important. Security is maybe even key topic number one when you look at the features and the capabilities of platform. Especially now with this Log4j incident we had, we see hundreds and hundreds of attacks per day just to try to get in your business processes or get into your network and try to do some evil things. So security is mandatory when you look at the features and the capabilities of such a platform. I mentioned it earlier, short time to market should be a no-brainer. And let me explain that a little bit more. Of course, we need API managers, we need microservices, we need Kafka, we need serverless computing. But as a business owner or as a marketeer, I would like to think up new business ideas or new products or new services, and I want to launch it in just a couple of days. I don't want to wait on the IT department who says in 3 months' time, you are the first. Now, as a business owner, I would like to invent, I would like to create a new service and bring it to market in just a couple of days. To do so, you need a software stack which bends with you, which is flexible to address those kinds of requirements. So therefore, you need a loosely coupled environment based on all kinds of products that works together as a whole. What I really like is flexibility, or even better, agility. So there should be a solution which is flexible and agile. That means you should not have a lock-in, not from a technology point of view, not from a financial point of view. And therefore, we believe that open standards are really, really critical. Open source is nice. Why? You can look at the code and maybe you can adjust. But open standards is way more important. Of course, guaranteed delivery. And Dominique will show you and explain you a little bit more about that. But let's give you a brief tip here. We believe that 100% should be automated. Your infrastructure, your platform, your middleware components, how all those components work together, but also your artifacts and the deployment of your artifacts. And the logic behind that, again, as a business owner, I want to have 100% guarantee that each time we deploy or each time a platform is upgraded, patched, maintained, that there is a guaranteed outcome. I want to have a predictable outcome. What I don't want is that somebody programmed something or did something manually and the whole chain breaks. So guaranteed quality of the outcome is, in our opinion, one of the key features of a real professional integration platform as a service. And last but not least, but I mentioned it earlier, affordable. So in the past 6 years, what we did together with WSO2 and WSO2 technology, we created the managed integration platform called Connext. And with Connext, we addresses all of these 8 business values. So Connext is for us the key integration platform as a service to technology, and suitable for many customers around the globe with these 8 characteristics inside. So when I translate this back to the added value for you as an enterprise or for your end customers, I can wrap it up in those 4 topics. So with our Connext platform, you have a centralized approach with one customer experience. Within this integration platform as a service, you have one experience where all your integrations, whether it's APIs, whether it are services, whether it's serverless computing, whether it's a file-based interface, we don't care. There's one customer experience for all of your integrations back and forward. Secondly, with the Connext platform, you have one security and one policy enforcement. So you don't have to go through all your chain. You don't have to go through all your middleware layer to apply security. You can do it with just a click of a button at your fingertips. The third summarized bullet here, with Connext, you have a centralized monitoring, alerting, and logging mechanism. Because all your integrations are flowing through one tunnel, it's quite easy to monitoring on technical level, but also on business level. So if you would like to know how much orders you had, or how many customers subscribed, or how many invocations went through to your front end, your middleware, your back end, it's easily to monitoring and put alerting on top of it. And last but not least, auditing, logging, and log trace. So Dominique will explain later. We provide a SOC SIEM account where log is written once, read only, and you can view it multiple times. Very handy when you are in a regulated market like the bank, finance, or insurance. So this was my 25 minutes high over, a brief introduction in what we believe integration is all about and what integration platform as a service can offer you. And my takeaway for you is, when you select an integration platform as a service, what I strongly recommend, please take in consideration the 4 puzzle elements I showed you here. Take these in consideration when selecting an integration platform as a service. So I would like to switch over to Dominique, and he will deep dive a little bit more under the hood of our Connext platform, what it is all about from a more technical point of view. Dominique, the floor is yours.
Thanks for that introduction, Robin. I'm going to try to explain you tonight a little bit, or this afternoon, a little bit about how the platform is operated, how the platform is built, and how it can guarantee all those promises Ruben just made. It's going to be a challenge. My regular talks about the platform last 4 to 6 to 8 hours. I only have 30 minutes left, So let's make sure we at least cover the most important topics. So in the last 15 years, Yenlo did many integration projects. And over the last years, we found that the biggest challenges were basically ever the same. Normally, you go to a customer, you describe your project, you have a scope, you build the requirements, and then you have a project on your hands to build the integrations and the services. But before you can do that, you have to install your infrastructure, your middleware, and those kind of things. And those kind of things got more complex and larger and became complete projects on their own. And those projects were challenging because the 4 digital transformation challenges we summarized on this slide are applicable to most of our customers. And the problem is, the deeper you get into the challenges, the harder they get to solve. So at first, there's always the human resources. Ruben already said a lot of jobs won't be fulfilled in the near future. But let's say you have an IT team. Are they available to do those kind of things? Do they have the experience with the middleware applications? Can they take, or will they take, the responsibility to keep everything updated, secure, and running? So let's say the first challenge is solved. Then you got a lot of middleware applications, and every application is like a Swiss Army knife. You can configure them in any way necessary. You can select different transports, use custom configurations. You can go any direction. So that limits the fast time to market. You have to decide and trial and error, see what's the best suitable configuration for you. You also have to consider how to deploy your full infrastructure. Preferred, of course, fully automated because it will prevent human error. And you also have to do capacity planning. Make sure that your infrastructure is available and that it's responsive enough to handle the load you're expecting. Next step, your platform is there, it's configured, it's live, and now you have to operate it. With the security breaches we've seen and the vulnerabilities made public in the recent history, we've seen that frequent updates, but also making sure that backup and recovery is in place, are key to keep your system safe and secure. When you do backup and recovery, you also need to make sure that your backups are safe. From the Connect perspective, we offer offsite backups by default. So even if your full infrastructure, your Amazon full infrastructure goes down, which I've never seen happening, but let's assume it happens once somewhere in time, we always have available backups and can deploy your account on a completely different area of the world. In operations, you also have to deal with access management. Who can access which Carbon console or interface of your applications? And also, of course, connectivity to external applications, applications inside your on-premise data center, those kind of things. You have VPN connectivity, public connections, and all needs to be dealt and monitored in a secured manner. So now all this is covered. Your platform is there, you're operating it, you can update it, and then it becomes successful. It means you calculate it based on a specific capacity you were expecting, and it turns out that you're very successful and you need all of a sudden a bigger cluster to handle all the data. So growth planning and, for instance, failover, or maybe you even want to spread the risk of your deployment over multiple data centers. That's a big challenge we've seen in the past too. So that's basically what we are trying to solve with the Connect platform. How do we do it? In our opinion, automation and testing is the key to everything. We want to provide a scalable solution that's safe and secure for everyone, and it needs to be customizable. The basics is the processes. We have, for every layer in the infrastructure, a fully automated process that can deploy, provision, and test every component in the Connect platform. On top of the processes, we have a cloud infrastructure. The default deployment method, deployment data center is Amazon, and we make full use of infrastructure as a code and the possibility to describe networking, load balancers, and those kind of things using code we can version control. On top of the infrastructure, we deploy middleware. And in our case, we prefer the opposite two solutions, but we have other customizable options available. All the middleware applications need to be pre-configured, and we do that automatically, and we can test all the applications after they're being provisioned, so that we're always sure that after the infrastructure, the applications are being installed and everything is running as expected. On top of the middleware application, you want to have customization. So you might need specific configurations for your project or additional applications to be included in the platform. So we can deploy them also in an automated and testable manner. So now that the whole infrastructure middleware is there, you want to run your project. You have integrations, APIs, CAM solutions, and all those configurations need to be deployed on top of your systems. So in this automated and fully testable manner, we can version control all layers and test everything independently, and with that we can update every platform seamlessly without having any downtime for our customer business cases. So looking at the high-level overview of a regular Connext deployment, you see in the picture in this sample scenario we have 3 environments. Let's call them the development, test, and production environment. And in each environment, which is completely isolated, so even within your own different environments, there is no resource sharing or data sharing available, we deploy applications. So in this situation, we see W2 API Manager, an identity server, which can also act as the key management solution for the APIs, an enterprise integrator, service bus, and an ActiveMQ for your queuing solutions. On top of that, we provide a shared file system so that all components can scale horizontally without you need to deploy all your artifacts again. And we pre-provision all the instances with agents that we need to monitor and create auto-healing and auto-scaling processes. Every environment by itself is connected with an IPsec VPN gateway through your internal data center or by other solutions if you already are cloud running in a cloud with your systems. But secure connectivity to all interfaces that has admin access is required. On top of the platform, you see the Elastic Stack we use as the monitoring options, and in a later slide we'll show you a little bit more about that. And the Jenkins system that provides integration with your CI/CD processes for your team. So this deployment model allows us to deploy the W2 stack in various ways. You can have the full-blown digital agile stack, as we call it, with all the products included. We can select only the API management layer. We can select the integration only layer, and it's all flexible. But it's not limited to that. It's not limited to that. In the past 2 years, we have been running the W2 platform. We also created certain verticals. So we have HL7 integrations to provide open healthcare solutions. We adopted the W2 open banking solutions that helped a lot of banks become PSD2 compliant within weeks instead of years. We're also not shy to include other products. We have customers that require event-driven architectures or regular business process applications. So on top of the W2 integration platform, we have a flexible way of automatically deploy and manage and monitor products like Kafka or Camunda. The possibilities are unlimited. Every application we adopt into the platform is always automatically deployed, always monitored, and always under strict version control. So we can always seamless update all the products without creating downtime for your applications. I already mentioned it before. Everything is under strict version control, and the way we do it is having the platform version controlled with an XYZ scheme. We have a platform, a stack version, and a minor release version. And that basically builds the full platform up until the middleware applications. We have a full infrastructure as a code. We deliver quarterly releases, and for every update within the same platform version, we guarantee there will be no impact on the integrations or services running on top of the platform. Our team works in two weekly sprints. We get our inputs from our product boards. We get our inputs from customer feature requests or from our support team that helps us improve the platform continuously. And because we do everything automated, we can do regular deployments without, again, downtime or impact for your integrations. On top of the platform, we have a customer configuration. We call it a build version. In that, there can be customizations on the infrastructure that's also running as code. It can be configuration changes on the product itself, and that's always delivered as scheduled work. You request a specific feature, and we make sure it's there. Every custom configuration is always tested against functionality, but also capacity and performance tests. We want to make sure that the performance our platform can make is also there on top of your configurations. And then we have the artifacts. They have their own release version. We always test artifacts against the platform and the customer configurations. And that can be delivered by your internal development team. That can be done by a hybrid team with internal and external developers. Or Yenlo can provide consultancy services to build your full business case as a service and bring it to the Connect platform. One important topic on that one is that we ask all the developers to deliver the artifacts to to onboard it to support, in which we do a quality assurance check, we do a code review, we see if all the requirements are there to actually operate and manage it for you, if all the monitoring instructions are there, and we make sure that they are being deployed also automatically and being tested on functionality after deployment. So with that, it's always possible to deploy in a platform version, run your custom configurations, and deploy your artifacts. And with the functional test in the end, we guarantee that all the integrations running on the old platform version are also working on the new platform version. So how does it look like? As an example, a fully managed customer, let's say they have a test, a QA, and a production environment. The development team delivers a new platform version and hands over the release notes, including all the testing results, to the support team. The operational support team will reach out to our customers and explains the new features, the updates and the patches and those kind of things. And with customer approval, we start the deployment pipeline for the infrastructure, for the configurations and the artifacting in the test environment. Every step is being tested, and when everything is successful, the test results are being handed over back to the customer to prove the deployment is successful and there's no impact. Let's assume there is impact. As long as we stay within the same platform version, we take the responsibility to make sure that all the impact is being resolved before we move on to the next stage. So the same loop we can do with the QA environment, in which you can do your quality control, the user acceptance test, and those kind of things. And after formal approval, we deploy it into your production environment. This is all based on, we offer a new version, you review it, you accept it, and we deploy it. There's one big exception. In case of critical security issues, we enforce the deployment of the quick fix into your test environment immediately, ask you to see if there's any impact, and then directly move on to production. In this case, we choose security above functionality. And the recent history learned, the Log4Shell debate was there. We discovered how fast problems can get really big. And I'm a little bit proud about it. In that period, within 2 days, we were able to patch up to 350 servers for our customers within 2 days without any downtime or impact to the customer services. I think that's a great achievement, and that's the reason why we automate and test everything. Looking at the deployment process for artifacts, we have 2 types of customers. We have self-managed customers, in which we provide the CI/CD pipeline, or we adopt the CI/CD pipelines for the development team themselves. But we also have fully managed customers. And in that case, we also monitor and manage the artifacts on top of your platform. So in this situation, in this diagram, you see a development team hand over project deliverables to our support team, to the service desk. It goes to the automated quality gate, which does a code review and scans for best practices and those kind of things before it's being deployed into your environment. And when it's fully managed, we monitor and we proactively respond on incidents that happen inside your systems. So to do that, monitoring is key. We believe that monitoring on all levels is important. In the previous slides, I already showed you we have an elastic stack available, and with that, we monitor the infrastructure behavior, so the resource utilization, the network load, storage usage, and capacity, those kind of things. We also monitor the applications itself, all those 2 products and all products running as it should? Are they available? Do we do health checks and functional health checks on all the endpoints? We also provide statistical dashboards out of the box. So we have dashboards for API management, IAM, Jenkins, to see if your deployments are being successful, Enterprise Integrator for all the systems, all the integrations are running smoothly. All of that is delivered all out of the box in your Kibana instance, so you can monitor it on your likings. The reason we chose for Elasticsearch is because we think it becomes a little bit of an industry standard. There's a lot of documentation available, a lot of examples, a lot of training materials that enables you as a customer to build your own business monitoring on top of whatever we deliver. So if you have a requirement of seeing how many invoices were paid on your platform by your customers, you can build that. It's a matter of making sure that the data is being shipped to Elastic, build the dashboard, and share it with your employees. So all these capabilities we provide by the Elastic Stack on top of the middleware applications. So how does it look like? In this diagram, from the bottom to the top, we see the customer data center. We see the AWS infrastructure in this situation, and an application called MetricBeat ships all the metrics on the infrastructure to your Elasticsearch stack and comes into an index, being processed, and by that visualized into the Kibana dashboards. The W2 middleware, or all the applications in the middleware, they provide log files, and FileBeat is an agent that's running on all the instances. We bootstrap all the instances before we provision them, and FileBeat ships all the log files into the Elasticsearch stack, and by that, yes, we provide a centralized log viewer for all the products for every single environment in your infrastructure. So that means debugging for your developers is really easy. You can select all the log files for a specific service, you can select all the log files for a specific environment, and you have a live log viewer available at your fingertips. On top of that, we have Heartbeat, and Heartbeat is a ping request response agent that is able to monitor all the endpoints of your applications, but also of your service or your service dependencies. So it's quite easy from within the platform, if you have an integration from application A to application B, to monitor the availability and the performance of all the application endpoints and your integration itself.
Hey, Dominic, Ruben here. That sounds great, but I've got a question from one of our viewers. What about business monitoring, and what can you do with customizations regarding monitoring or reports? Because I know Kibana is very flexible, but do you support that to customers, or what's your vision around that?
Good question. I'll switch back to the previous slide. Like I showed, all data, all the log files are the statistical data, all the events are being shipped into a big bucket called Elasticsearch. And within Elasticsearch, you can filter, you can process all the data and group together. So that makes it quite easy to either publish an event for your business monitoring or include log lines that provide you the steps within your business requirements. And from there on, you can simply create dashboards or visualizations that all together combine your business monitoring. So that's possible. Also, we allow to send the data into your on-premises or already available monitoring tooling. So we also have customers that already have their own Elastic Stack or their own implementation of logs.io or something. And the pipeline I've shown here from the middleware to the Elasticsearch stack, we can also reverse it to the on-premise systems. So we're really flexible in how we ship the data, how we visualize it, and what you can build on top of it.
So if I understand you correctly, the Connext platform is really flexible, not only from middleware components, but also from business monitoring and technical monitoring, right? And
everything is there at your fingertips, and we don't filter data. We show just everything that runs on your platform, and based on that data, you can always build your own dashboards. So yes. As an example, I have the API management dashboard, and in such a dashboard, you can see the overall request count of your APIs. We have a heat map that shows you which application is using which API mostly. There you can filter quite simply on successful